Um, Hello, I'm back. Now week 2, my little YouTube channel. I don't know, a little recap of this last week. So, last time I recorded, I talked about how I messed up on my quiz or whatever, because I forget what the problem was. All I know is like I messed it up. I described it in the last video. Not that anyone cares, besides myself in the future. So, that'll be fun to look back on. But I had my exam, chapters 1 through 5, on Friday. And I just got it back today, and I got a 92% on it. I should have gotten 100%, but I just made a stupid mistake. I have it right here, so it's pretty good flex. Even though I think the camera's gonna invert it, like I'm fucking bad with technology when it comes to like videos and stuff. But yeah, like if I get 100, like a long ass time since I got 100% on something, mostly because like I don't study, or I used to not study, but like now that I'm paying for college, like I want to make sure that I make my parents proud, and I'm putting their money to good use. Like yeah, on the weekends, like I obviously like to have fun with my friends or whatever, but there are times when like I don't go out to make sure that I'm like well prepared. So who knows? Maybe by the end of my senior year, I'll be able to show them this channel. If they even care to watch my videos, and they'll see this. But I'm pretty happy with myself for being able to get a 92%, even though it should have been 100%. It was just a stupid fucking mistake. It was a conceptual problem. It says a sailor throws a golf ball from the deck of an aircraft carrier whose deck is 80 feet above the water. If the ball hits the water 3 seconds after it's thrown, what was the direction of the initial velocity? And the options were slightly upward, horizontal, or slightly downward. And it wasn't horizontal, obviously, because this the sailor threw it. Oh wait, no, it's a bad explanation. Okay, so you had to write out one of those equations. So the equation in this case would have been y is equal to y initial plus voyt times, or plus 1/2 at squared. And we know the y final is going to be 0, and the y initial is 80. And then you just solve for the time it takes, because there's no y velocity. So that gets crossed out to 0. So the final equation is just going to be negative 80 is equal to 1/2 negative 9.81, or negative 32.2 because it's in feet, not meters. So negative 80 is equal to 1/2 negative 32.2 feet per second squared times t squared. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking bad at videos, especially because I don't like write anything down. I just like, I don't know. It'll be nice to like look back on this, but once you just like divide out negative 16.1 on by negative 80, or you do negative 80 divided by negative 16.1, which is 1/2 32.2, then you just take the square root of that, then that's your time, and then time is less than 3, so I think the answer was like 2.3 seconds, and I did that. I don't know what I was thinking for this. So uh, if there was advice I'd give to myself, like, I don't know, or like anyone that watches, it's probably just like, make sure you sit down and put in the work for whatever your major is. Like for me personally, like being a physicist, what a flex, what a name. Being a physicist, like I'm typically spending 2 hours a day doing homework or like reading stuff. Like I went to the library yesterday and I picked up this big book called The Fundamentals of Physics, which again is probably inverted, but yeah, it's kind of handy. It's like another way to read what like my professor talks about during the lectures and stuff. So it's also nice to like get information from outside sources and stuff. Like I have an online book. It's just I'm not a fan of it. It's annoying to read online. Me personally, like I'm starting to like reading again. When I was younger, I used to read a lot, but yeah, so far I'm doing fairly well in all my classes. Uh, in English, I have I think like a 95. and my physics I have a 95, and then I'm taking another physics, which is just an like it's like a required physics course that all physics majors have to take, and you just show up and you get an A. So I have 100 in that. In calculus, I think I got an 88 because I just took an exam on Monday, and when I checked my grade, it was at an 88. So I probably got a B or something since last time it was a 92 or something like that. So and then government I have a 90 because all I do is just get 23 out of 25s in the weekly exams, and then on the test we just took, I got an 88%. So I'm probably gonna finish with either borderline A or borderline almost A. I hope my professor does curves because I just can't get 100% or like a solid A. But yeah, so as of now, I only have one B, and that's in a 4 hour elective or 4 hour course, whatever. So I think I'm at like 3.7 GPA. Boo. But I don't know. I'm proud. I'm fairly proud of myself. As long as like I keep on doing this work ethic and stuff, I think this year will be all right. Especially with like managing my time and stuff, because like I want to make sure I put time aside to like highlight what I've done and over the week. Like Tuesday's such a fucking bad day for me to do it, but I don't know. I like my intro. If you can even call it an intro, it's just a funny video. I don't really know what else there is to talk about. Um, we finished chapter 6 on Thursday, and that was just the drag forces, which was just like another like refresher from AP Physics C that I had back in my senior year of high school with Mr. DeWorkin. He was a pretty good teacher. I liked him a lot, but I didn't do that well. I got B's because I didn't put in nearly as much work as I do in this class. And if I did, I probably would have gotten a 5 in the exam instead of a 4 AP exam. So I don't know. Uh, but yeah, chapter 6 was just drag forces, and it also like dealt with forces again, but for free falling. Now we have to assume that we know that we acknowledge the air resistance and whatever. So yeah, chapter 7 we're doing the dot product of vectors and stuff. So that's another little refresher because over the summer I was doing some extra work on my own to make sure like my brain was sharp. Uh, I'm gonna look back on these videos and be like, what was I talking about half the time? But uh, yeah, I'd say like everything's going well. Like yeah, my grades are doing all right. I'm doing all right. I was visiting my family. Like I just came back. I just came back from over the weekend visiting them, and yeah, it's always nice to see them and stuff. So yeah, I think that's really all that happened over the week from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. So yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys or see myself next week on Tuesday.